What's up, the squad? Back with another video. Y'all seeing the title is going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all seeing the title. All right. So look, I'm gonna sum a lot of this up for y'all. Jasmine Crockett is basically looking at the fact that I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way. And y'all should know this by now. But Jasmine Crockett puts more so race into everything. She's looking more so that it's too many white people basically in the government. That's basically what, she's been saying, basically what she's about. And as y'all can see, it's not getting her nowhere. It's not getting her nowhere at all. Says here, Democrat Jasmine Crockett is arguing for a reflective map in Texas based on people's race. She is angered that 60% of Texas representatives are white. Check it out.
So thinking about it in that way, a reflective map would look like the fact that only 39% of this state is Anglo. So how in the heck do we have 60% of the seats that go to DC are going to be decided by Anglos? That's the math that doesn't work. We need to flip the numbers so that people of color, no matter who they vote,
and that's really all what people like. What, and it kind of makes me mad a lot because I feel like regardless, it shouldn't be an argument. I know I see a lot of people that's always in the comments, a lot of people that and I understand that y'all outraged a lot of times about stuff like this, but you can't give people like this attention. You can't give people we know it's real. And you have people like myself that's going to put it out there. And I'm glad that I can. That I just get tired of the way that she puts things, basing off a skin color. Like I said, from the beginning, even doing these videos, I feel like if you do an amazing job, regardless of who you are with the color of your skin, then you can do whatever. I'm telling y'all, positive, but here she is. This is in the Texas Capitol, screaming at the top of her lungs, and mad about, again, has a lot to do with race. Check it out.
I don't think that it's an accident that Donald Trump picked up the phone, called down to Texas, told Abbott what he was going to do, and like a small, ridiculous child, he just fell in order. I don't think any of that was an accident. But what I can tell you is that we will not be an accident. We, the people of Texas, will be very intentional about making sure that they hear us, about making sure that we call them out for what they're doing. This is racist, what they are doing. Let me hear you. That is coming up with policies that will help all people, no matter what their ethnic background. They have decided, never mind, we want to dilute the voices of black and brown. Well, I got news for you. In this state, the majority is black, brown, and Asian. We will not sit idly by while a wannabe dictator decides that he's going to silence us.
That's dang near sad, though. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I feel like that's dang near sad. I feel like so many people, and I feel like that's why the world, and not even to mention why the United States is the way that it is. It has a lot to do with so many people basing everything on the color of your skin. I feel like if people would just stop talking about it, people would just be good people, regardless to whoever you are or what you do. I feel like, honestly, that I won't say that things would be perfect, but things would definitely get better, because I feel like that has a big part in a lot. I truly do. One thing that I dislike a lot is the simple fact that you have these people with a big following. They have people with a big following, and they try to scare people, with saying this is what's going to happen because Trump is in the White House. You have people saying, oh, they're doing this all because of we're black and this, that. I'm telling y'all, bro, as long as people keep on, and especially people like, Jasmine Crockett keeps on doing this, it's not going to do nothing but, and one thing about it, there are people, like I've said before, that supports and loves Jasmine Crockett of what she does, what she says. So there are people that still, think that she's right. There's people that, support everything that she says. You're seeing all the people that was standing behind her while she was screaming. And I'm telling y'all, bro, like, I try my best to show people the real and to do what I can, because this ain't it.
So Jasmine Crockett, this woman is the gift that keeps on giving. Okay, Jasmine Crockett, she actually doesn't know when to quit, which is great for us because it's great fodder and it's great content. But Jasmine Crockett, she did this profile for The Atlantic, which you would think would be very friendly to her, right? The Atlantic is no friend of President Trump's. It's no friend of the Republicans. But even The Atlantic saw that Jasmine Crockett was basically a grifter trying to get fame, fortune, likes, and clicks. So let me read you about this profile and why it sort of ended and crashed and burned in flames. So The Atlantic, they do this profile, and some of the takeaways are that Jasmine Crockett thought she should be the top Democrat on the Oversight Committee because she has the largest social media following. She said, it's like there's one clear person in the race that has the largest social media following. Now, Jasmine Crockett, there's a lot of daylight between followers and clicks on the internet and people who actually get things done. Okay, some of the folks in DC who are really getting things done aren't folks you see on television all the time. They're not twerking down a hallway like Jasmine Crockett. Every time I see her, she's like twerking down the hall. She's dancing. She's, dancing to Kendrick Lamar. Why don't you go to work? Okay, and it really shows you that our thesis that Jasmine Crockett cares more about followers than working, she wants to twerk, she doesn't want to work, that thesis is true. She thinks that because she has the most followers, she should get some high position on a committee that really means a lot and has to actually do things. No. Okay, I want the person who doesn't live on social media all day and actually get stuff done. That's what I want. I think President Trump is the only person who can post on Truth Social and secure massive trade deals, right? He's the only person who can multitask and dictate in a fire tweet and then go get a massive deal done for us. Jasmine Crockett, she doesn't have that, okay? President Trump is singular. And
one thing that I can say is that I can see exactly what he's saying right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I can definitely feel it. I feel what he's saying, because social media, and a good example, you have Jasmine Crockett that runs the social media thinking that is going to, people are starting to catch on. People are starting to see that. So when you have people, me personally, I don't want to be a hypocrite by all means. I don't at all, because I'm on social media a lot, saying what I got to say, and I speak the truth. But at the same time, you have somebody that's on social media. I see Sheldon Daniels, he's on social media a lot, but then that's the difference. You got a person like Sheldon Daniels that's trying to unseat Jasmine Crockett that's on social media, but he's also doing what he can and doing all that he can for the community. He's involving people. Like I said many, many times, the people that he got volunteering, he has, people volunteering, going door to door, talking to different folks, and he's taking them out to lunch. He's with the police, on ride-alongs in the communities. He's going to these different restaurants. I feel like a lot of that, it speaks a lot. And I pray that he keeps it up, down there at TX30. Jasmine Crockett, you don't see her doing nothing. All you see her doing is bashing Trump administration. And not only that, bashing Trump supporters. That's all that she's about. Check it out, y'all.
She says, it's like there's one clear person in the race that has the largest social media following. Yes, that's what Thomas Jefferson intended in our representative bodies. Large social media following, that qualifies you.
Look, Jasmine Crockett and her little ghetto girl, minstrel, I hate Trump, we don't get that mofo Trump. That's wonderful for social media, and it does well for her there. But when it comes down to actual governing and sitting in
committees, it gets views.
Right, it gets views and things of that nature, but she has to actually govern. And when you're in those committees, you may work with people on the other side of the aisle. Jasmine Crockett's not going to do that. So her own members actually voted her out. And really, she needs to concentrate more so on her district at home, because Sheldon Daniels, who's a great guy, interviewed him. He's actually gaining on her, and he has a really good chance of waking us up from our Jasmine Crockett nightmare. We hope.
Could you imagine the social media tirade she'll go on if she loses?
Heard what he
He's
said.
actually gaining on her, and he has a really good chance of waking us up from our Jasmine Crockett nightmare. Sheldon Daniels, who's a great guy, interviewed him. He's actually gaining on her, and he has a really good chance of waking us up from our Jasmine Crockett nightmare. We hope.
Could you imagine the social media tirade she'll go on if she loses? That would be hilarious. We'll have covered that for a
No, it's going. I know for a fact it's going to happen. I know for a fact it's going to happen. I'm not going to wood, but I know I want it to. I wanted to. I feel like so many people are engaged in seeing what Sheldon Daniels is about that it's amazing. He's doing a wonderful job. I remember, looking at that first time Sheldon Daniels is like, getting out, and I'm doing the video on Sheldon Daniels, and now to see how much he's progressing and how many, people are starting to see, how he is as a person, what he's doing, what he's about, what he's trying to do. I feel like a lot of people are engaged in what he's doing. And I feel like it definitely is, important, for people to realize, what's going on, especially down there, in Texas. But this is what I was talking about. I mean, it's just stuff like this. This post from Sheldon Daniels said Jasmine Crockett doesn't care. She wants you to be afraid. So vote Sheldon. Check out what she says here, y'all. We just got done talking about this.
One of the reasons people haven't been flying planes into buildings in the United States is because of our soft power. It's because of the diplomacy that we were doing, where we were building relationships where people would look at us and say the Americans are good people. Because when we spend money for, say, them to get medicine in their country, it don't cost what it costs here. It costs pennies. That was helping to keep us safe here. Don't let them play you. Don't let them divide you. I don't really care what you think about the LGBTQIA community. I don't really care what you think when it comes to abortion. I don't really care what you think when it comes to immigration. If you allow them to cherry pick you, then at the end of the day, something that you do care about, one of the freedoms that you do hold dear, is going to be under attack.
That right there just goes to show y'all, bro, that she's a person that wants division. What she talks about, what she says, and then on top of that, you have key things that's a problem in the United States. And she sits there and basically making it seem like those things are just okay. Those things are fine. That's just like Letitia James. We did a video on Letitia James, how Letitia James she's mad that they took immigrants off SNAP. And she's mad. I have an issue with that, because my thing is that it's literally Americans to this day. By all means, I know a lot of people go through different things, especially, within the homeless. We talk about homeless vets all the time, and the help that they need. Mind you, I know a lot, drugs come into play, alcohol probably comes into play, but I feel like it's definitely important, when it comes to those things to, get them in different, centers, rehab centers, and to, feed them and to, I feel like that's more so important than putting, the next first. And I know I don't want to sound bad, I don't want to sound bad about this, but bro, I mean, come on now, like be there. They sitting there talking about how they care so much for America, but they don't. I mean, y'all clearly can see. She literally sits there, and I want to show this video because I'm gonna show y'all some things after this video. But basically, Jasmine Crockett calls Trump supporters sick. Check it out. See what I mean? This literally happens every time. It's almost like they don't want me to play the video, y'all.
Idea that we don't care how many people get hurt. We don't care how we prostitute our service members, thinking that you have your own special little army that's for you. I mean, it is sick. It is really sick. And anybody that supports it is also sick. And so, we've got a mental health crisis in this country because.
So we have a mental health crisis because we support somebody that is doing and trying to do more and more for this country. That's what I have a problem with. And so many people always, I don't like Trump and I don't like this and I don't like that. I don't see y'all complaining about the things y'all was complaining with for the years past. That's what I got a problem with. I had so many people, it's people that's even, on my Instagram that always complain about Trump, and a lot of them are off now. But, I even had, people that came over here and chilled with us like, y'all don't like Trump because he's this, he's that. Like I feel like people don't like Trump because other people say they don't like Trump. Or their parents say they don't like Trump. I feel like if people actually deep down, I didn't talk to so many people, and I'm not going to say that I changed their thoughts, but I put a different, perspective. I talk to them a little bit. And they understood, why I support the people that I support. And why, I am, who I am today. I came from a Democratic family. They learn to understand that. And when they do understand that, they're like, oh, okay, I see why. It just takes it because when you got a person like Jasmine Crockett and she just running her mouth on the online, saying this, saying that, you got other people saying this about Trump. What do you think other people gonna do? Especially people, that's black. People that, you know what I'm saying? They're looking at the fact, okay, well, and I ain't trying to bring, again, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just being real with y'all. Because this is the people that Jasmine Crockett obviously attracts, when it comes down to it, because they think that she's ghetto when she's not. But you literally have people like her that'll go, and say, things like this and do things like this, and people gonna believe it. I mean, especially people that's not in politics, they're gonna believe it. But she sits there and call, Trump supporters sick. Then you got, stuff here. Mind you, this is all this year. All this year. Trade deal with Europe, trade deal with Japan, lower inflation. This is all the successful accomplishments so far with Trump. So far. Closing the southern border. Y'all can find this at Sunkized 01. So Sun KIZED 01. So y'all can see it all because I'm not gonna read all of it. Withdrawal from Paris Climate Accords, elimination of Department of Education, protection of women's sports, increase in oil and gas production, elimination of federal DEI. It's so many things. Largest middle class tax cut in history. There's so many things that a long list that Trump has done, and more to come. I'm telling y'all, more to come. But then when you had the past 4 years, I mean, what accomplished you? Here we go. Biden Harris accomplishments. Record high gas prices in all 50 states. Record high consumer debt. Y'all can find this at Diana Gaylord. Ukraine and Russia war. Israel and Hamas war. Let's go. Let's see where we at. Record low test scores in K through 12 students. This is one thing that I also, since we're talking about Jasmine Crockett and Sheldon Daniels, this is one thing that he said that he's wanting to, fix in Texas, is these test scores and stuff. So definitely lit. Violent crime skyrocketing. Historic inflation crisis. Literally, these are accomplishments up here. So for the people that's sitting there and bashing Trump, saying this, saying that, actually pay attention. It'll do you some good. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. I definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.